Hello traders, welcome to Flow with the Markets Wednesday, volume 265. Today is the 20th of November, so I just want to go through the markets and see how they have developed according to the analysis that we did on Saturday. So pretty much starting with the DXY straight away, we are still kind of inside that daily imbalance. And if I have a look at my overall scenarios here, one of them was to pretty much go a little bit bearish and start invalidating that daily imbalance, and the other one was for us to just pop higher. We can see that the bearish scenario kind of played out because we were also having that hourly bearish imbalance here that ended up holding. And then pretty much so far the trade of the week was this short right here. We had this hourly imbalance. We have that kind of a funny looking order block here, that last bullish candle before the drop. We tapped in, and then pretty much at the end of the day we fulfilled that previous daily low, which was pretty much our target. No, that is not really the previous daily low. The previous daily low got taken here. So it was pretty much that very recent low that we had after we tapped that hourly imbalance. But right now, again, you can see we didn't really continue to follow through to the downside. And what the market is doing currently, in 2 hours and 20 minutes, we're going to have a brand new hourly bullish imbalance. Now, what that suggests immediately is a little bit of a consolidation condition. Okay, when you have like a bearish one, this bearish one actually did its job, but then like you had a bearish one, right now you have a bullish one, and then you might have a bearish one. That simply suggests consolidation. So after last week's very massive pump, you can see currently we're just staying at the top, consolidating a little bit. And if you just very quickly go to the weekly time frame, remember we have taken liquidity, and also we're in a candle 3 of a potential weekly imbalance to be created, so that maybe next week we can tap in and then potentially expand. Okay, so beware of that. And we also don't really have any sort of important news this week, so the market could be awaiting for next week. So how I'm currently, I haven't traded Forex this week so far. How I'm currently tackling it is I really want to see some momentum. I really want to see some conviction. So for example, right now on the DXY, all of that stuff is irrelevant. The only thing that we have to work with right now is wait for that to close here, and then potentially you can immediately target this very recent high. Okay, now this is gonna close potentially as a breakaway gap, runaway gap, pretty much signifies that the market is running away from the imbalance. And then, for example, if we actually start forming something on the 1 hourly time frame that we might have, for example, here in 19 minutes, that could potentially be a very quick long opportunity to take us into these highs. So this is kind of what I'm looking for in the DXY, but remember, this is just a consolidation condition. This is not something that I would like to trade. This is very scalp-like approach, right? Just taking highs and then targeting the lows. You can see Euro USD, also a consolidation. So I said, okay, let's see if bearish order flow is going to start following through for us to target that low, and for us to target like that major low we have to the left. Or let's see if, for example, bullish order flow is going to start kicking in for us to retrace to the daily. Well, we kind of had a little bit of a bullish introduction, but again, it just signifies consolidation once again. Look, we have that hourly bullish looking very nice. We're starting to break above that high here, right? And you think, okay, we're going to go long. Well, no, the market just massively flushes. I do believe we actually took out the previous daily low here. There is Monday's low. We took it out on Tuesday, and then we massively retraced all the way back up, taking Monday's high as well. And what are we doing right now is we're back into the range. So currently EU, honestly, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like if you're not some sort of a scalper, like trading, for example, that previous daily high and then looking to take a short trade from here, I don't really see any sort of trending conditions right here. So definitely I'm stepping away from EU right now, looking for more. You could potentially explore the 1 hourly time frame. You can see the 1 hourly time frame is about to build a bearish 1 hourly imbalance, but again, this is not really the way that I trade currently. I'm mainly looking for clear daily and hourly zones, and if I don't have these, then I'm just not trading, because I've been scalping futures, for example, and if I also scalp Forex, I'm gonna really burn out. So for Forex, literally waiting for clear conditions. And if you just zoom out a little bit on Euro USD and see what is happening right now, we're just ranging, all right? We're pretty much at the bottom right now, accumulating, distributing after that massive drop. So this is why I think something is cooking, but it's not ready yet. So if we're trading Euro USD right now, be very careful and be very quick with your profit taking. Checking out Aussie dollar, sorry, it's not Aussie dollar, that's GU. I'm used to my own analysis because after EU, I always check AU. Now GU is next, also consolidation. Like what I said is, for example, because we were really bearish, I said, okay, well, let's see if the market is going to immediately continue lower from that volatile zone. You can see we actually tapped it. We tried, but we failed. So that didn't work out. Or are we going to make kind of some sort of a deeper pullback and then for us to potentially start rolling lower with the overall trend? And pretty much what I said is like, again, after that pullback, let's see if we're going to have a volatile bearish imbalance to potentially guide us lower. And this thing that I kind of forecasted, it kind of happened. Because we did have that pullback with a bullish imbalance, then we had a bearish one. But what did I just tell you on another pair? If you're having bullish, then if you're having bearish, then if you're having bullish, consolidation. Okay, like currently you can even see we're having a bullish one and we're just chopping, right? That is really not the market that I'm looking forward to trade. We don't have really anything on the daily right now. We're sweeping the previous daily high, and even then you drop to the 1 hourly time frame, and even on the 1 hourly is not clear. Like the days are starting very choppy, and then all of a sudden we had a very nice drop. Today kind of similar, started choppy, we had a liquidity gap here, and right now it looks like it wants to go lower. It is going to encounter this forward bullish imbalance. So is this gonna hold? Is it not gonna hold? Well, I don't care, because personally I'm not really gonna trade this market right now. It's not giving me clear momentum. It's not giving me clear direction. It's not tapping into any hard time frame POIs that I usually trade from. So guess what? GU on my skip list. Aussie dollar. I said that I am very bearish on this one. I would really like shorts, especially from that daily bearish imbalance. But this is why, again, I don't really do like weekend forecasts. I just look to flow with the market, because what you see happened is, of course, I had a bearish scenario. If the market impulses lower, makes an imbalance, breaks and retests, for example, that low, then to look for shorts. Of course, we can see that the longs actually took control. However, look at how the market came into that daily imbalance. It came in with so much strength, and it actually printed that very nice forward bullish imbalance that the market ended up tapping in and following through. Okay, so I was actually not looking for shorts at all on Aussie dollar. I was more or less looking for longs, but the longs were also kind of, you can see, because that imbalance got tapped here during Asia and it actually ended up following through. I would have taken a long somewhere here, but you can see on the 1 hourly time frame, we didn't really make any bullish imbalances to work with. And then we came in to grab some liquidity, pretty much pull back into 50% of that overall range, and then we started launching higher. Now, what I currently don't like about AU is that you can see out of that forward bullish imbalance, we did not create a new one. And that to me signifies that really buyers are not too much into the market. That daily bearish imbalance, I would say, has been, oops, not this one, has been invalidated because we have been strongly breaking above it. Here we have a little bit smaller one to the left that was not really tapped. So kind of really 50-50, nothing on the hourly, nothing on the daily to work with. And then even if you want to drop to the 1 hourly time frame, you also really don't have anything currently. It's been kind of slowly climbing higher right now, slowly going lower. Nothing really that catches my eye. And the only time that I actually trade is when something is just shouting at me. Man, I'm clear, take me, right? Well, currently nothing is shouting at me to take it. So we have similarly, we have NZD USD, the bearish scenario. I was pretty much bearish on NU and AU, but you can see kind of when the market opened, kind of that sentiment shifted with that very recent volume, with that very nice forward bullish imbalance. We pushed a little bit deeper. This line is probably a daily order block. Yes, we didn't quite make it there. No daily bullish. So kind of still, even if you're looking at that imbalance, you can still kind of, I don't really do that, because to me, the daily imbalance got tapped here and it gave the reaction. So right now, I'm no longer going to be looking to short from that daily imbalance. This forward imbalance is also right now taken. It already did its job. So then, of course, being left at the forward time frame, what do you see? Nothing. Now, I used to look at structure before and I would drop my FIB right there and say, okay, I'm going to go long right now, but I don't do that anymore. I don't trade with structure anymore, or I do trade structure indirectly, but what I'm going to be looking for mainly is imbalances. So for example, here we did have that structure break, but that structure break was with an imbalance. So in this case, I'm going to go long. Right now, we still have that structure break, but does it have an imbalance? No. So I'm not looking for longs anymore. Okay. Previous daily high being swept, and on the 1 hourly time frame, we are making some sort of a bearish structure here. And now again, if you're really a scalper, which I kind of don't recommend, starting to call out levels, for example, you can do an idea like this, right? You can see previous daily highs being swept. We're starting to get some 1 hourly bearish momentum. We're having a 1 hourly POI. So a tap inside here and then driving it into that low, because I do believe this low could potentially become liquidity, as on the way up, we did not really make any bullish imbalance, which suggests that this is also not an order block. There is nothing to potentially push price higher. So you can already forecast that as liquidity, but that to me is a low probability trade idea. I would just wait for something on the 4H or on the daily, get me a clear trade. Gold, there was a person in the comments who was absolutely gonna go all in on shorts the first thing this week. So hopefully he didn't blow his account. But yeah, we had this very recent daily imbalance. But again, this is why I always wait for Monday, wait for the market to show you what it wants to do. Monday opened and just massively expanded. That daily imbalance was immediately invalidated. And then you can see on the hourly time frame, it was a little bit suckish, because even if you wanted to take longs, for example, I was looking at that hourly bullish imbalance, didn't really get tapped. Then we had, for example, that one here, didn't also get tapped. And then we finally started getting this one right here that actually tapped, but then we were already at that daily. And that daily, I would say this daily is more of a reaction area, because what we're having right now is, if I delete all of these fall zones, we are actually having first signs of bullishness. But again, I will only start taking gold longs if the market pulls back here and if it starts printing 4 hourly or even daily, ideally bullish structure. That's how I would tackle it. What I really do like is that the market is not making right now a new weekly bearish imbalance. You can see we had this very nice expansion candle, but then the market comes in and it hasn't invalidated it yet fully. But even if it does close like this, I wouldn't use this small thing as an imbalance. Okay, so starting to see some bullishness, and for example, this will be the ideal trade on gold for me. A pullback into the daily and then 4 hourly or 1 hourly time frame starting to align bullish. Because right now we're tapping into that daily. I'm not gonna go short from that daily. Why? Because I'm currently looking at the order flow is bullish, and I can't go long currently because I don't have a zone. So what do I have to wait? What do I have to do? I have to wait. Now, once again, as I kept telling you, like for example, in pairs like NU, AU, and even EU, you can use the hourly time frame as like your middle time frame to potentially guide you towards where the market wants to go. But you really have to be a scalper. You really have to get to know your pair and whether it works with this style of trading. Because right now I can start being a little bit too much forecasting, and I could say, okay, the market is tapping that daily and it's gonna bring us into that daily bullish. Okay, how are we gonna get into that daily bullish? Well, by this 1 hourly, let's say, and then you jump in right here, you start taking shorts. That could definitely work out. But again, it's not the highest probability trades that I'm used to take. So personally, instead of trading into the POIs, I will just wait for the market to tap the POIs and then start providing me longs. And then I'm just going to catch a high probability trade with a very high win rate. All right. That's my psychology. And that is also my view on gold. Okay. Now, if that daily zone doesn't get tapped and we all of a sudden right now start reversing bullish, then I will definitely also go long, then targeting that weekly area. Okay. So let's see how it works. There is my outlook on gold, how I look at it right now, freshly at the middle of the week. But of course, hey guys, don't also exclude the bearish scenario. Like the market can right now start printing 4 hourly bearish imbalances and it can continue following through all the way towards this low. Don't ever get married to something. Have your expectations, have your biases, but again, if you start seeing something different happening, be very quick to adapt. Some lovely shorts, by the way, on UJ. My community took quite a couple of members took that short. I actually called that out in the morning analysis while it was happening. While I was recording, the market actually tapped that forward zone and immediately it flushed. It was very, very fast trade. I was literally doing the analysis here and I said, well, there's our trade, right? And I had some community members actually took this one even before my analysis was published. But then we failed to follow through lower. So again, currently just deleting everything. We're not really having anything on the weekly, on the daily time frame, kind of as well. But look at this daily candle here. It's starting to give us a lot of bullish indications. And then as we start going to the hourly time frame, I'm already starting to see order flow. There is, for example, a new hourly bullish imbalance that was made. It tapped in and right now it's starting to follow through. And exactly in 7 minutes, we're going to have a brand new hourly bullish imbalance as well, suggesting that we're just going higher. Now that is a runaway gap, breakaway gap, whatever you like to call it. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense for the market to pull back all the way back down. So in that case, you can get used to the 1 hourly time frame and look for a shallower, for a yeah, for a smaller pullback. So for example, something like this could be a trade idea, but if you start seeing the market failing from, for example, from this kind of level here or this kind of level, then that could mean it actually wants to go to the 4H, and then from the 4H you can get an alignment. So this is USD JPY. You can actually have it highlighted. This is my only pair that I have on my watch list right now that is showing a clear indication of order flow, so I'm gonna be checking it out. And then yeah, pretty much you can see Euro JPY. That was, I think that was my thumbnail as well. Nice, played out. But again, currently we are having some very strong shifts. Once again, on the volatile time frame, we're starting to see a little bit of a reversal here. In fact, we're having two volatile bullish imbalances, sweeping that weekly liquidity, printing a very massive bullishness, and you can already once again start forecasting highs like that to go. Now again, your main question is, how are we gonna get there? Well, of course, for example, you can see the 1 hourly time frame here had a very nice idea during Asia. Right now we're popping up again. We're having another 1 hourly imbalance here. But now again, within my program, we have different trading plans. So for example, one trader could be looking to catch this. But personally, me, with my trading plan, I'm gonna be looking for more something like this, a higher probability trade. And if this one goes, I don't care, okay? So longs on the JPYs, you can even see GG as well, pull back here, rush to our liquidity target, and right now it's starting to reverse. So pretty much is the same outlook across all the JPYs. Seeing a little bit of a bullish intention right now, starting to forecast maybe a shift of that sentiment. I don't like GJ because it's the worst. We're having right now this volatile reaction area that the market could react from, but that could also be very well the thing that can bring us into that volatile zone and then potentially into the liquidity. So that will be a setup that I will potentially be looking for. And also be aware of the daily. The daily could close as an expansion today to make a daily imbalance tomorrow, and then Friday could also be very good. Indices, I'm having two losses so far on ES. Got the bias right, but my entries didn't follow through. So the first trade that I took was a long on Monday. But I took it after that liquidity was taken, so not ideal. And a long yesterday, and I literally got pinged out of the trade on that wick, and then the market just rushed to my profit. So rather unlucky on my futures performance this week, but we're gonna make up for it. So we're starting to see a previous weekly low being swept. The daily, we had this daily bearish imbalance here, but you can see it's kind of starting to show signs that maybe it doesn't want to hold, because you can see we actually tapped it here, we followed through, we actually fulfilled the target, and right now we're starting to reverse very sharply with that break of structure with an imbalance. Okay, so today I'm starting to incline more towards longs, and for example, right now if the market consolidates during Asia and London right here, and then for example we're having a very nice spike lower as a manipulation, and then the 50-minute starts building bullish structure, that is something that I'm going to be looking for today on the futures. I really do like this reversal from down there, right? I was looking for longs here, but I usually give the market a little bit of time to really show me what it wants to do, and pretty much my longs were taken from here. I didn't really have a tight stop loss, but the market just went to my stop loss and then reverse, and I didn't really look for re-entries, which is something that I should have done. So that is ES. Having a look at NASDAQ, pretty much the same. Also similar performance, which is good that they're correlated. Also volatile imbalance. It also had a daily that I think actually NQ did not tap the daily yesterday, while ES did. Yeah, so this one didn't really tap, but it actually flushed and then it came into the daily. But right now, as one has already tapped it, the other one is probably not really going to respond. So of course, I always remain open-minded, especially with futures, because these things, again, it's like similar to analyzing right now the market on a Saturday. New York Stock Exchange opens and then the market completely shifts. And then, of course, you have to be very quick to flow. So currently, of course, pre-market, I'm having a more bullish narrative, especially like if we pull back to that volatile zone towards the order block here. But of course, if we start massively flushing, I'm gonna of course jump on the shorts, and of course if we actually start pumping even without that volatile zone, I'm still gonna be on the longs. Okay, so with indices, it's even, I don't want to say useless, but it's a lot better to just jump in right into the charts and then of course flow with them. YM weekly imbalance being tapped right here looks very good. Looks very good right here, and that could potentially be a little bit of a cause for The other indices to potentially start popping higher as well. Weekly bullish, daily bearish, that is gonna have some struggle right there, and exactly right now we're stuck in the middle. You can see we even had a hourly bearish that is currently looking like it's failing. So I would expect something like this on this one, a reaction, and then if we actually break above, then we can start having some more clarity, some more momentum, and pretty much the market could start reaching once again for new all-time highs. But it's probably gonna take some time to get there. Really interested to see if that was the pullback. I did buy some stocks this time, so let's see if we're gonna start reaching for new all-time highs. US 30 weekly imbalance looking very good. Let's see. DAX pretty much, yeah, fulfilled that liquidity target that I was looking for, but very choppy manner, right? So I'm currently not really looking at DAX because you can see it kind of swept this low, pulls back, bullish imbalance, bearish, bullish, right now bearish, swept, right now it's starting to print bullish. I just do not like it currently, so I'm not looking at DAX. Okay, so pretty much to recap, the only kind of instrument that I have on my list is USD JPY for longs. The euros and the GBPs, there are, again, as I mentioned, there are giving some sort of a short setup simply because the DXY all of a sudden started to pump. But again, those are not high probability setups. The only high probability setup I see is USD JPY. That is coming from a quality, already bullish order flow from a higher time frame POI as well. And also the indices are starting to give me some long signs. So we'll see later on today and also for this week if they're going to play out. Let me know what kind of trades you have been taking this week. Let me know how the week started for you. Let me know if you agree with the analysis, and pretty much let me know what you are looking for.